They say you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. But what happens when those people are quietly sabotaging your growth, draining your bank account, or making you doubt your own sanity? For a long time, I thought I could fix everyone. I thought that being a good person meant keeping every door open. I stopped talking to these 7 types of people, and for the first time in my life, I could finally hear my own voice again. If you've been feeling stuck, exhausted, or constantly on edge, it might not be your work, it might be your circle. Pay close attention to Chapter 5, the invalidator, because that is the most dangerous type of person you will ever meet, the one who makes you invisible to yourself. 1. The manipulator. The first person you need to distance yourself from is the manipulator. These are the architects of guilt. They don't ask for things, they hijack your choices. Every interaction feels like a high-pressure sale, where the currency is your emotional well-being. They use phrases like, "If you really cared, you'd do this," or "I guess I'll just do it myself, even though I'm exhausted." Over time, this is incredibly corrosive. You stop making decisions based on what is right for you and start making them based on how to avoid the next guilt trip. A manipulator doesn't want a friend, they want a remote control. When you stop being controllable, they will call you selfish or influenced. Let them. Your freedom is worth more than their approval. 2. The fake friend. Next is the frenemy, or the fake friend. Trust is the foundation of any real connection, but with fake people, trust is impossible. These are the individuals who smile at your face while digging a hole behind your back. They undermine your achievements with backhanded compliments. You know the ones. "I'm so surprised you got that promotion considering how much you struggled last year." They use your secrets as social currency, trading your private pains for a moment of attention from others. They don't want you to fail, but they definitely don't want you to do better than them. They are the anchors that look like life jackets. Cutting them out isn't mean. It's simply deciding that your life is no longer an open book for people who want to tear out the pages. 3. The gossip. Some people aren't happy unless there is a fire burning. The drama lover lives for conflict. They are the ones who always have tea to spill. But remember, if they are gossiping to you, they are gossiping about you. They thrive on rumor spreading and stress. Being around them is like walking through a minefield. It's never safe to confide in them, because your vulnerability is just more fuel for their next story. Their lives are a constant cycle of he said, she said, and they will drag you into the mud with them if you let them. To protect your peace, you have to stop being an audience for their chaos. 4. The liar. Trust is the only currency that truly matters in a relationship. But for the liar, deception is their primary language. They don't just lie about the big things, they lie about the small stuff too. What they did yesterday, who they were with, or how they really feel about your progress. Being around a chronic liar is exhausting because it turns you into a detective in your own life. You spend all your energy fact-checking their stories instead of building a future with them. When you can't trust someone's word, you lose your foundation. You are constantly waiting for the other shoe to drop, wondering what's real and what's a performance. If you've ever felt the mental fatigue of trying to figure out the truth in a sea of stories, hit that like button. It's a sign you've dealt with this archetype. 5. The invalidator. Now we come to the most subtle and perhaps most dangerous archetype, the invalidator. This person doesn't yell or steal. Instead, they slowly train you to doubt your own feelings. If you're sad, they tell you you're being too sensitive. If you're excited, they tell you to calm down and be realistic. They are the masters of gaslighting. When you express a boundary, they make you feel like the crazy one for having it. This constant dismissal forces you to silence yourself. You stop speaking your truth because you know it will just be met with a, "that didn't happen," or "you're overreacting." If someone makes you feel like your emotions are a burden, they are a person you cannot afford to keep. 6. The money grabber. This is a person who views your bank account as their backup plan. The money grabber feels entitled to your resources. They are always forgot their wallet. They are always in a crisis that only a loan can fix, and they are always delay paying you back. But it's not just about the cash, it's the emotional drain. They tie you up with guilt or family obligation to keep the faucet running. They don't see your hard work, they only see your excess. A real relationship is a two-way street, but with a money grabber, it's a one-way dead end. You aren't a bank and you aren't responsible for someone else's lack of discipline. 7. The excuse maker. Finally, we have the excuse maker. This person is the most contagious. They have a reason for everything. Why they can't lose weight, why they can't find a job, why the system is out to get them. They live in a state of perpetual stagnation and conspiracy. If you spend too much time with them, their mindset will start to infect yours. You'll find yourself saying why it won't work instead of how to make it work. They are the graveyard of ambition. We talk about how to reclaim your mindset and your time every single week. Subscribe now so you don't let an excuse maker pull you back into the stagnation trap. 8. The difference maker. In the end, choosing who you avoid is just as important as choosing who you follow. You cannot build a high-level life with low-level people. Walking away doesn't mean you hate them. It means you love yourself enough to stop being a victim of their habits. I want to hear from you. Leave a comment below about a time you finally cut off one of these types of people. Which one was it, and how did your life change after they were gone? I'll be reading through to see which type has been the hardest for you to handle. Remember, your environment is your future. Choose wisely. And if you enjoyed this video, I'll see you in the next one.